Hello, it's your sleepless god. And I know I've been gone for a little bit. But no, I've been just preparing you for this what if because it's your favorite. It seems like you guys really like this for some goddamn reason. But this is what if Percy was trained by Hades and Persephone. Uh let's start with the recap. Last time we left off, Percy basically Percy, Annabeth, and Luke walked into basically Aunt B's house or shop, killed Medusa, freed Grover from the closet as Percy realized, uh, you know, Hades is getting a lot of statue from here. Maybe he wants a gift, and he sends Medusa's head to the underworld, basically just trying to piss off a little bit of the gods. One particular one, as he they go back into the forest, uh, basically to go back to bed. Uh, After that, that's it. Actually, that's the last time. That's actually not a lot. So let's start the video. As Percy Percy takes the first watch to let everyone go to sleep because he's perfectly fine staying up very late. But Annabeth says, because we have four people, two of them can sleep and two of them can stay awake. So her battle strategy is that two people stay awake for 2 hours. No, technically no. Two of them stay awake for 4 hours. And then those two wake the other two up, and fall asleep. And the other two stay up for another 4 hours. So equally, they'll have a decent amount of sleep in them so they can survive. Um, but also that if one of them falls asleep, the other one can wake them up. The third reason is because Annabeth wants to talk to Percy alone, completely alone, no jokes, no nothing, just completely alone. As uh, you know, Grover goes to bed pretty quickly. Grover actually stays up pretty late, stays up a little bit longer, but Luke instantly goes to sleep, battle trained, ready to go. So it takes him a little bit longer, but finally, after playing the pipes for a little bit and complaining about the environment, that is shit. The environment, talking about his dreams of being basically saying he wants to find Pan and how the story of Pan went. Basically, went to an island and heard that Pan was dead, and since then he'd been trying to find him. As he finally fell asleep, as Annabeth started talking to Perseus, uh, Annabeth's like, so. It's like, yeah. He's like, why are you lying about you being, maybe or may not. I'm not gonna try to clarify your life. I know my life has been difficult as well, but why are you lying? It's like, lying about what? It's like, lying about you being in an orphanage. Those skills with the blade, that's not trained by street fare. That's trained by masters. That's trained by battle. It's like, and those eyes, even though they're kind of close, they don't match. One of those eyes is a green, and then one of those eyes is a beautiful blue. It's like, oh, you're calling my eyes beautiful now? It's like, don't change the fucking question, series brains. It's like, hey, I didn't call your eyes beautiful. It's like, oh, you don't? You don't think they are? It's like, I never said that, but it's your personal opinion, I guess. As Annabeth's, cheeky a little bit with him, he says, but where were you actually? Tell me the honest goddamn truth. I won't tell anyone else. We'll trade stories. As Percy says, what do you mean by trade stories? Like, I'll tell you my past, you tell me yours. It's like, start from finish. I'll tell you my beginning and end. You'll tell me your beginning and end. He says, it's not gonna be long. And she's like, Are you ready? Who wants to start first? As he's like, flip a coin. He's like, do you have another one of those drachmas? It's like, yeah. Flips it. Annabeth says heads. Uh, Percy says tails. Lands on tails. Percy says, you go first, Annabeth. Annabeth looks at him and says, fine. I was a young child, probably around the ages. My dad never wanted me. You know those. If a baby came from the heavens, you think he'd be more surprised, but no, he asked him to, bring me back to Olympus with my mom. But I had to be raised by a mortal parent. After that, I was raised with my dad till she finally got a stepwife with 2 other boys, and I was not a part of the family no more. So I ran away. That's where I met Luke and Talia, my friends, my family, my true life. We fought because of Grover's mistake. We accidentally fought a one-eyed beast and barely survived. Getting to the end, Talia was risked her life to save us as what she says, a young boy with black hair and incredibly short with a black blade. As he looks over to Percy, saved her life, and when we went back, all the wolves, the hellhound, everything was down. Now, what about yours? It's like, that's kind of short. You already know that my dad is Poseidon, but what happened was my mom died very young in her life of cancer, lung cancer, technically. Genetical, couldn't do anything about it. She was not a big smoker. Her family was, but she wasn't. That contact with that caused her lungs to contain that type of disease. She's now wonderful, and I see her every day. But he's like, but I'm not gonna say who, but my parent Poseidon chose me to give to 2 Pacific gods to take care of me. They both took me up on that offer, and they trained me into what I am now. As Annabeth, using some context clues, saying that she sees his mother and she's well, that has to be someone with some influence, because seeing the dead is not always so she basically knocked it down to at least 4 or 5 gods. But after that, I trained in sword fighting with the best of the best, and mastered my 2-blade style. And you've probably figured this out yet, for a test of mine, my god gave me to basically see if I can go down somewhere. He made me fight off the hellhounds that sent out for Talia. It's a test. As Annabeth says, that was a test? He's like, yep. And I passed it with flying colors, it seemed like. After that, as he rolls up his sleeves, and he shows his tattoos of the marking, he says, I got these. He says, what are those? As you see his phoenix on the top of the branch, basically looking down at him. He says, these are my chains. These are my powers. I can activate it, and it'll give me a 2 times boost of my strength, my durability, my everything, basically. And I could fight stronger, faster. But at the end of it, it will basically, make me exhausted unless I boost again. As Annabeth says, so that's why you didn't want to tell anything. He says, yeah, I didn't want to make anyone like worry or like feel have to like take steps around me like I'm glass, like I'm breaking any moment and kill someone or something. You know how it is sometimes. It's like I have no idea what the fuck that is. It's like kill someone. Annabeth, really? At least you use my name. It's like, hey, you haven't used my name for a while now. It's like, Percy, yes, I have. He's like, well, right now, maybe. You've been calling me seaweed brains for at least, I don't know, 3 days. It's like, because your head is filled with seaweed. Maybe if you thought a little bit more, I wouldn't call you seaweed brains as much. Maybe if you didn't make up ridiculous nicknames about seaweed brains. It doesn't even make sense. Maybe I'm a. Yes, it does completely. Completely makes sense. You're a son of Poseidon and you're dumb. That makes sense. Like, I don't want to hear that. What the fuck? As Annabeth starts smiling and just says, so, what's your thoughts on who's the actual god of? He says, I don't think seeing Hades doing it. And he's like, why? Like he was always reaching for power. He's like, no, he's not. He's reaching for peace most of the time. You can see kind of with what's going on right now a little bit is that he's trying to get more and more peace between the gods as much as possible, kind of. His realm is already in a little bit of disgust, a little bit. It's been fixed. It's been fixed a little bit, but there's some parts of it that they're still a little bit wrecked, a little bit destroyed, a little bit need to be more well done. So, with that, I don't know if it's Hades. I do believe that something did happen to Hades because usually Hades is a very peaceful man, but Persephone's not there, so it might be a little bit less, but I feel like Hades would be fine. What I think is going on is someone around the corner, especially a half-blood, is affecting this in somehow, some way, some possible. And some other being, I'm guessing, some other, creature, monster, anything, is affecting this in the shadows. Annabeth looks at him and says, so, who do you think it is? And he just says, I have no idea. Hopefully it's not what I think. But god damn it, I hope it's up in corners right now. It could be anyone. I have 4 guesses, but those guesses are a little bit, raw, and they're not completely planned out. He's like, give me them. He says, well, God of War, Ares. Yeah, like that God of War is always a good option. Mostly because he's always trying to look for something to fight, battle, destruction, something. And he's one of the lowest gods on the totem pole, technically. So he's always looking to upgrade his rank. Second one, but I believe Master of the Strategist, maybe Gaia is back. Or some of his sons. Any Titan with some brains. Or, if we're thinking more vastly, the king of the Titans. Kronos? Yeah. He's always been pulling the strings a little bit. Even when he was gone, even while he's dead in Tartarus, he's still pulling the strings to bring himself back. I believe it might be him because who knows? Maybe he has a plan now. Maybe he has a better idea of what he can do. As Annabeth looks at him and says, not bad, but how are you going to set peace to Hades? As Percy says, I haven't figured that out yet. So, how it goes. You got to run to the battle before you figure out anything else. As Annabeth says, I guess so. I don't know. I just everything is covered in a little bit more mystery than I want it to be. As Percy says, yeah, but we got to think about this in a clear fashion. Someone bigger than us are definitely pulling the strings here. As 4 hours pass, they wake up Luke, and they wake up Grover as damn, as they do their 4-hour shift as Percy dreams of a dark abyss going into Tartarus, as we see Kronos still cut up to pieces, but just looking up, just laughing as he wakes up briskly. As it's starting to get mid-morning, as you see Luke starting to just like sharpen the blade of his sword, not basically be dull. As he's like, "Oh, I was gonna wake you up in a little bit, but that you're awake. Oh, sorry, rough night. Oh, back. Like you can help me out, taking out this fire real quick." It's like as Annabeth is still sleeping, as Luke and Percy takes out the fire, making sure that no trackable evidence is going to be shown they have a fire. Some little fire, not massive, so not really trackable. As Grover comes back with a poodle, as this poodle is worth $100 to get them back on the road. As they bring back the poodle, get the reward money, and starts going back on the road, starting to go to the Arch. Now, obviously, Annabeth wants to do this, as Percy says, "Why not? We have some time on our hands. We're not searching for it. We still have some time." As Annabeth goes to the Arch, shenanigans happen. Same thing. They ride the elevator up. That fucking. I'm saying this now. Percy does not like heights. Period. 100%. He likes dark spaces, like underground areas, and water. That's it. He does not like heights. So going up somewhere, it's not his favorite. But the dog, he already figures out what it is beforehand. He cannot move. He cannot react, but he gets prepared of what he's going to do. So when he gets up there, and the woman's out there, he says, as he, what he basically does, in a very specific sense, he gets everyone out there that is not half-blood, and then he gets all the half-bloods out but him. As the woman says, "So you figured me out. So it doesn't matter. You're going to die anyway," as his poodle turned into a massive monster. Lion body. I think it's, lion body, eagle head, and then like a snake tail. It doesn't matter. Or no, lion head, I think. Lion head, griffin's body, snake tail. I think that's how it worked. As Percy pulls out both of his blades, as he says, "Well, maybe. But I believe that monster of yours," as he looks over, "will not even survive a single blow from my blades." As this is where we're going to end it off here. Hope you guys liked the video. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.